Hello. Welcome back, guys. It's been a minute since DTM Then Some has been appearing on here live. How's everybody doing? Happy spring, everybody. Here's a second for Brittany to get logged in here. Yeah. Missed this platform. Missed you all. Been crazy busy around here. To say the least. Doing the most and then some, right? You know, sticking to our namesake. Oh, got that random hair there. Okay, I'll kill this dead air because I hate dead air. I feel like that's weird. How's everybody doing? So it's been a minute since been on here. A whole month actually, in fact, since I think our last time going live. And we didn't really give any warning. We didn't kind of know we were gonna need that time until it happened. But you know, we at this point, this is episode 12. So we did 11 episodes straight up with just that Christmas break. And first quarter 2021 really came in strong and heavy for both myself and Brittany. If you follow our social media accounts, you can probably see that. But yeah, it was didn't mean to leave y'all hanging, guys. But just needed to take a pause from the podcast to just get some things in alignment so we can bring you the best quality programming that we can. Tonight, though, we're back on regular schedule. So that means this Wednesday coming up, we will have our normal hot topic, so to speak, podcast that happens at 1 p.m. We will be talking with Miss Deja Marie of Goddess Looks. We will be discussing hair care and hair maintenance for busy moms and their little princesses. So very excited for that conversation. They don't know, Goddess Looks actually handles both my daughter's hair as well as Brittany's daughter's hair. Don't know where I would be without her. She basically kind of came in, swooped in, and saved me and my daughter from the craziness that is doing her hair. So very excited for what information she can provide us on that topic. Tonight's episode, we're going to be following our regular schedule. So we will go do a movie review. We're going to be reviewing the movie I Care a Lot. This actually had a Oscar nod or Emmy nod. I don't know. It had a nod for one of the movies. Don't know if it got it because I don't follow award shows. But for me, though, I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's called I Care a Lot. It features the actress Rosamund Pike if you don't recognize her by name, she is also the actress that was in the kind of, I'd almost say her like breakout movie, Gone Girl. She played the wife compared to, why can't I think of his name? What is the actor's name? Ben Affleck. She played the wife to Ben Affleck's character. That if you watch, so Gone Girl is based off of the book. It was a very popular New York bestseller, and Rosamund Pike played this character that was wonderfully delusional and crazy, but also sane in a way in that movie. And that really kind of put it to the forefront because it was such a role she played. And she comes back in I Care a Lot, and she doesn't disappoint, let me tell you, does not disappoint. Um, let's see. Oh, okay, I just heard from Brittany. She'll be with us in just a moment. She's just getting situated. Told y'all we doing the most and then some. I believe she was actually trying to do some sort of party setup for her mom, which is happening like tomorrow. But you know, also while working her 9 to 5, it's fine. She'll just try to do it all and then show up here. So let's see if we can get her in the broadcast. Brittany, you there?
No, I am here. Forgive
Hey,
me.
girl. How are you?
I am good. Doing the most and then some.
Nice. So, how you feel being back live?
I feel good. I feel late, but I feel good.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Oh, and this lighting is horrible, but that's all right. We're gonna make it work.
I mean, you semi look like you might be in a horror movie right now.
Yeah, I don't like that. Hold on. Stand by. Stand by.
So like you're like hiding under the cupboards.
Oh, worse. Better. Right? Oh. God dang it. Okay, wait.
Okay.
I'm about to give up.
There it is. There it is. We like that.
Closer though, right? Okay. Close. God dang it. Okay. I think it's the best I can do today, Steph.
That's fine. Oh, you could have stayed in the cupboard. We could see it. It was fine.
I didn't want to be in the horror movie. I didn't like that approach.
You didn't like that approach. I'm just kind of, reminded the people that we're back here today. I know we've been going for about a month. Been a little MIA, had a little sabbatical, as they call it. Fancy people take sabbaticals. We needed a little sabbatical to get our stuff in line and get everything else in our lives together.
Exactly. We take moms in real life. We don't take sabbaticals.
That's true.
Pushing. But we're here. Hi guys, I missed you all.
So if you are here with us, go ahead and let us know in the chat. We love to shout you all out on the podcast. It's fun for us when you guys interact with us. So moving right along into tonight's categories. And I apologize if I seem just slightly off, y'all. I got my first dose of my COVID vaccine today.
Vaccine.
And then proceed to eat ice cream. And this is the first time I'm sitting down. So I might now just like, if I slowly sink in the seat and you're like, where'd she go?
I guess y'all should have took another week. That's what they're going to tell us after this episode. But that's okay. We're here.
We are here. We don't take any more.
I apologize for my tardiness. Again, doing the most and then some. We are in the process of planning a party for my mother's 70th birthday, and it's taking place tomorrow. So we were doing a little bit of the setting up and preparation for that. So my hands are literally thawing out as I sit here and record.
Oh, all right.
It's cold out there.
Oh, it is cold. That hashtag what spring. That's what we're working with right now. Exactly. What spring?
So in honor of COVID, we are doing the celebration outside. So we were just, setting up a couple of things so that it's not so much prep tomorrow.
Yep. I'm sorry. It's a random tangent of the night. First one of the night.
Okay, let's see.
I'm getting like a real glow on my face. Is it just me?
No, it's definitely giving glow. Definitely
Like
giving.
it's like highlighter, but I don't even use highlighter when I put makeup on. I'm coming to you all real sans face tonight.
I thought it was intentional. I thought you did a little something.
I mean, I washed my face and I moisturized this morning. That's about it.
Well, that's a step. That's a step.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just glowing because you're happy. You're blessed. You're blessed. The
Maybe
blessings are
it's
coming through.
maybe it's the vaccine
You know what?
seeping through my skin. It's a glow. It's a healthy glow of being vaccinated. Vaccinated glow.
Vax
Um,
gang. My Monday. I can't show you, but my shot's here. I went with the
yeah,
left arm.
it's me too. That's because that's my strong arm. That's I'm left-handed, so I always take my shots in my left.
Well, see, and I'm the opposite. I'm right-handed, so I always take my shots in the left. So just in case it affects me, I still got my strong arm ready to go.
Now I want to be fully taken care of. Like, oh, this might cause paralysis. Guess I gotta be weighted on hand and foot because it's in my left arm.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys. So I started introing our movie review for the night,
Oh, okay.
which is I Care a Lot.
Thus far, because I have a lot to say about this movie.
Oh, well, I just really went over who the main character was, Rosamund Pike as an actress, and where people may know her from. She kind of like
Sorry to cut you off. Can you hear that background music?
no.
Great. Okay. Keep on going.
She really kind of hit her stride when she played the I said crazy before, not crazy. The super manipulative wife in the movie Gone Girl against Ben Affleck's character. That movie, I had not known her before that. After that movie, I've watched that movie several times. I love it. Watched this movie, absolutely loved it, and then went down an actual Rosamund Pike tunnel, I guess you would say.
Okay.
And yeah, like I even paid Amazon so I could stream a movie. You know I don't do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You find any hidden treasures when you went down?
There was another one. It was good. I think she pretty much played the same role, which is fine.
Okay.
For me, because I like her in that role. She's good at that role. However, for her longevity of career, I'm a little concerned.
Diversify a little bit. I can understand that.
Yeah. Because that psychological kind of like it's almost because this movie is almost like a noir, right?
Yeah.
That genre is not for everyone. I would say, like, if you're not someone that enjoys sarcasm and kind of a bit of a dark humor, she tends to not be someone, or she tends to not get roles in movies that you would probably be watching if you're not into that kind of stuff.
I definitely agree with that. If, like you said, if you're not into that type of stuff, you may not see it. But I would say this movie is diverse enough that depending on what you are into, even if you're not into noir, that you would be able to enjoy it just because it has so many, twists and turns. I think it can captivate a lot of different type of viewers, quite frankly. That's my input.
Yeah, I guess a better way to say maybe not noir so much, but dark comedy with a cerebral twist to it. Like all her movies are very big. You've got to be paying attention and you're thinking because you're trying to get to the next point before she does.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
and, like for me, not seeing Gone Girl, I went into this completely blind, so I did not know that I should be, trying to be one step ahead of her. Which again, it made it that much more enjoyable for me, quite frankly. I was like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing here. Okay.
I will say, be fair. When I first watched it, I was like, I know her from something. What do I know her from? And then as she started really filling in the role, I'm like, that's right. She's the wife. So you're right. It's very enjoyable when you're trying to figure out what level she's about to go to. Like, what could she possibly do next?
Yeah, and that's why every time I was watching, I was like, oh, she did. Oh, okay. Yeah. It captivated me the whole time for sure. And like I said, I went into it expecting nothing knowing nothing. I didn't even read the synopsis beforehand, so I had no clue what the movie was about. So I went in completely blind and was like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, I enjoyed it to the point that I will definitely watch it again just because it was that enjoyable.
I watched it again today just to refresh myself, and I was like, oh yeah, this was still good.
So, what number would you give it?
Ooh, so I would give it, since it also had some award nomination. I can't remember if she had an Oscar nod. I mean, I don't know which one is which.
Okay.
I don't know if they won because I don't pay attention to that stuff either.
Mhm.
Um, but I would give it. I give it a strong 8.5 to a 9.
Wow, look at you in my mind. I was in my head. I was thinking I would give it a 9, and I was like, "That's gonna think that's too high." So I was like 8.5. But yeah, I would definitely give it 8.5 to a 9.
Yeah, it was definitely my speed. If my husband will attest to this, he hates watching TV with me or movies because I know how you wrote that plot. I'm that person.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
this kept me not quite sure what was going to happen overall, which is great. So whenever they can keep me guessing, that keeps me glued into what's happening. So I liked that. I loved the cast they had for it. They had a great cast. The casting also led to good levity at times
Yeah.
because there were points where it's like, if we don't get a laugh break or something here, we're gonna have to go real deep down the hole because that's the only way she can go at the moment.
All
So,
right. And
so I
even the
think they did.
ending, like I didn't see the ending coming at all. And like you said, usually
Yeah,
I can guess a movie, and I was like, "Oh, oh, oh, oh."
yeah.
I love the ending, quite frankly.
But I think that was made it why I'm like, ooh, it could even get that 9 because the ending was so satisfying.
Yeah, it was. It was.
When it looked like you weren't going to get that satisfaction, and then they threw it at you, you weren't even ready for it. Just
Yeah, that is so rare these days with movies. It's so rare where it's like the ending that you would want for politically correct reasons or whatever the motive. It's like, oh, that's what y'all decided to do. Okay. So, but this was like, oh, that's how I felt at the end of the movie. That was my exact reaction. Like,
it was.
oh,
I think what was so satisfying about too is like it really was almost like full circle from like the very beginning of the movie to the end. They really pulled it full circle with it and gave you that satisfaction. So
I wonder who was the writer on this movie. I'd be curious to
that's
see
a
that.
good question.
It was really good writing, and again, that's not something you get every day.
No, agreed. It's definitely not. Definitely not. So I'm trying to think, what was the name of the other movie by her I went and saw after that? It was, I actually think she tried to play, no, maybe she didn't. I don't know. I watched it, I liked it, but it wasn't as memorable as this one or her performance in Gone Girl. But it
Okay.
let me know that these are the type of movies she does. So Rosamund Pike is now on my list of actresses I will be checking for to see what film she does. But
Yeah, I definitely want to see Gone Girl now based on this, and you said that she,
yeah.
really shined through in that as well. So
I will say Gone Girl, just the movie itself, it's a bit long.
oh, okay.
A bit long, so prepare yourself for that. Just,
Yeah.
buckle in. Maybe already be in the bed, but like be very alert. So like in the bed at 6 p.m. when you're watching it.
Okay, okay. Not 9 p.m., but 6 p.m. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
not 9 yet. They might lose you in the middle there.
Okay.
And that's a long movie to have to try to rewind on the stream.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
next we had on the docket tonight. Ooh. Ah. Do we want to jump into the fiery of topics next?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Look, this day has been nonstop, so I figured let's just keep it
All
going.
right, let's do it. Let's get into
On stop.
we're gonna call this section "Standing by Your Spouse Through Infidelity," aka Derek Jackson and his wife. I wouldn't say he necessarily speaks to our audience here. However, if our audience goes on Instagram or
I would,
TikTok,
I would go back. I would say he does, though.
yeah,
For a lot of Single mothers, I would definitely, or no, could no, even married. You don't think he's? I think he does. I think you'd be shocked to see how many people who view our podcast were also, or maybe still, are tuned in to see what Derek has to say. I know it was one of my friends who was one of the first persons to, first first time I saw a Derek Jackson video. One of my friends who views the podcast shared it with me, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?"
Oh, see, first time I saw it was actually on my Facebook feed of the
Oh,
video, and I was like, oh, some mansplaining. That's what you trying to do. Next,
not next.
and I just listened. Ain't nothing you can tell me as a woman on how to pick a man, cause you ain't never done it, sir. Okay.
That's true. I used to appreciate that he gave another side of it, though, like another perspective, because again, I'm one of those people like you don't know what you don't know, and to your point, I've never been a man, so I don't know. You know, I can speculate how they think and how they react to things, but to hear it from a man, it was intriguing. I will say I was never like a subscriber, or I never went actively looking for anything that he posted, but what was shared with me, I was like, oh, okay, this is what this guy does. I could see where there's a major audience for what he does. I guess the best way to say it.
As I am a avid devil's advocate type of person in all conversations,
Hmm.
you can't speak for. Let's be. You weren't even speaking for yourself, let alone you gonna speak for all the men. Let's be honest. So when I see someone, and it could be women too, like ladies, we don't need to. I hate all of those things. I hate all of them. Like you can't speak for me. You literally like. I'm
And I think,
sorry.
and,
Don't
and
do it.
and on the opposite side, I think some men and women they look for somebody to speak to them or speak for them or to I guess
But that
communicate.
might be the problem. Why does somebody else got to be a mouthpiece for you? And I
I mean,
say that being someone that doesn't speak up for herself, who is
mhm.
in her season right now. But like that's why half this stuff are issues as it is, because you all going off a mouthpiece that you saw in a video clip. And as we have found out with Derek Jackson, he out here living the whole life he's telling you you're not gonna get listening to him. Huh?
Exactly. And I was just gonna say, as somebody who does speak up for themselves, I get it though. When I talk to people who are really bad at communicating, sometimes that's all they want is just someone to be like, see, that's what I'm trying to say right there. That's what I'm trying to say. So I do run into a lot of people who have trouble like communicating. So I could see the void that he was feeling for some people. The problem is, I don't even think the problem is people wanting someone to speak for them. I think the problem is just as a society, we are so busy, or so many people are looking for that person to put on a pedestal. We're so quick
Mm.
to put people on pedestals and fan out. And it's like at the end of the day, we are all human. We are all flawed. So you may want to focus on you instead of pouring all your time, pour your time and energy into yourself, not into this man with all this advice. Because as you can see, so many examples of these people that you look up to and you idolize, and then the truth comes out, and it's like, oh, they was doing what? They was doing
Right.
who? Oh, okay. So
It's
give
just like
for those who do not know who Derek Jackson is, can you give them a little background on who he is, what he
sure.
did?
Yeah, Derek Jackson is a, and I wish I had a clip. Actually, I don't wish I had a clip because what we don't need to do is give him no more attention. Um, but Derek Jackson is, for lack of any other way of putting it, a self-proclaimed relationship advice guru. Okay, don't know who gave him this title. Don't know who told him he needed to go write these relationship advice books for women by him.
Mm-hmm.
Random man in, I think they live in Texas. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Random black man on the internet is what he is. Okay. He's been doing it for quite some time, is my understanding. He does have a very large, or had a very large YouTube following.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, he just shows up in my or he used to just show up in my Facebook feed. So I don't know why or how, because
I
I've
got
never
now to see how many followers he still has. Keep going.
I've never clicked on his stuff, but he's got a whole program he uses, so he gets himself in the forefront, and a lot of people share his stuff. He does this thing where his big gimmick is that he sits in a car. He sits in his car, and he does reaction videos to videos that are posted on the internet, and then gives his advice on it. So it can be video a woman posted about her thoughts on XYZ, a girl's relationship, or a guy, or whatever, or it just could be the new next pop culture thing in the news on the internet, and he gives his opinion. But he has also written several books on relationship advice.
See,
I
I knew
think
nothing
one,
about books until all of this came out. But go ahead.
oh yeah, he's got books like I think they're literally titled like "How to Not Date a Cheating Man," "How to Not Date a Cheating Man Too." Like the book title is like "Single Mom," something so like it's a whole thing. He's clearly like, I hate to say it, but I feel like he's clearly trying to attract a particular audience, a particular niche, and give them crap advice.
Yeah, or give them
And that
hope.
just and to me, he's just, oh man, I cannot talk tonight. It's not my vaccine, it's just me.
You need
Um,
some for you, see? And I would say like from the at least the one I saw, I don't think he was giving bad advice. I think knowing what I know now, it's like, and again, I feel like it's nothing wrong with people giving advice, but you have to remember that people giving advice is just that it's their opinions, and everyone
right.
has one. And so I think that's where the problem becomes. That people take the opinions of others and make it gospel, or I think sometimes he tries, to my understanding, he tries to tie it back to the Bible, and so people are
I
very
found it. I found it. So, like, one of his book titles is called "Single Mothers Are for Grown Men Only." I still deserve it. I've come too far. Things she wishes you understood. Don't forget your crown. I still want it. A cheating man's heart. One, two. I think there's a third. Like, you're clearly pitching to a very specific niche here, as all your covers have um, black women or himself on it, basically. But he's been publishing these relationship books since at least 2013, maybe earlier.
Yeah, and I don't know how
But
many
with
subscribers
what
he acquired,
accreditation?
but I'm looking. He's still at 726K subscribers.
I'm sure. I'm sure. But bottom line, he got caught up in the fact that he's out here cheating on his wife. While he's giving everyone all this advice, he's been out here in these streets cheating on his wife. And now they don't give us a timeline of when it was, so to speak. Like, they don't get real specific on it. At least he doesn't when he addresses it. But it became a big thing, not only because he's put himself in that public eye, but also how he tried to address it with the public when he realized there was no way out. To me, it looked like a scene out of a Lifetime movie where like she's stuck in the the combat with him, like
He
that.
gave me Tyler Perry vibes. I was like, what in the entire hot beep mess is this? That's what I when it popped up on my screen, I thought it was a parody, and I was like, oh, this is
Like,
real.
you know how they say like something being cringe worthy? Like, I literally was cringing, and it was because I felt like she had something to say, but she was strictly told, you have nothing to say. You're going to just sit here.
And what we're referring to, which I'm sure, unless you lived under a rock, is a video where he comes out to address the fact that he cheated on his wife multiple times, and um, although he may not have been quote unquote always sleeping with another woman, he was entertaining other women outside of his marriage and all this other nonsense. And so they're sitting on a couch, and um, she's, for the most part, it looks like she's fed up, quite frankly, her body language. And he's holding her hand like as tight as he can, it looks. And they're like hand in hand, and he's leaning forward and he's addressing everything. And, he just keeps saying, and when I cheated on my wife, and then she's sitting there, and then he finally does speak. And I think it was best for her to, I preferred it when she was quiet, because then when she starts speaking, it's like there's no life there. And she's like, well, I was aware of this, and I prayed for my husband, and for those of you who think that I just sat around, no, I left, and he had to do a lot of work before he could come back and be with me, and blah 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 blah. I mean, it was just like a whole lot of explanation that nobody needed. Like, if that's truly what happened within your household, kudos to you both. You should have put out a nice little PR statement, called the day, and kept it pushing.
Yeah.
this whole PR stuff that you all decided to go on yourselves, hot mess. And then she follows up with her own, I think it's IG live video. It was an IG live, because people were talking about. So in the video, she has like a black sweatshirt, something like this, but no hoodie, no earrings, not stylish at all. But anyway, and this little black beret that looks like a bonnet. And so everybody was, making memes and comments like, "This is over it." Like she couldn't even do her hair for the video. She's wearing a bonnet, da da da. She comes and does this sad little IG video where she has on the beret again and this um, camouflage again, not hoodie but sweatshirt, and she's like, "This is the helmet of God, and this is the armor of God, and this is a war. We were at a spiritual war, and my husband, the world will want you to believe that I should leave him, but I am not against my husband. We are together. And what would you do if the world was looking at you? What would you look like?" And if the kids are in the background screaming, and she's like, not it's the when I tell you, it's like some of the weirdest things. Both of those videos give me cult, quite frankly. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if we find out in a couple of weeks that like he has two or three other women in the closet somewhere, because she just it's
Yeah.
to be fair, I did go back because I'm that person, and those who
Mm-hmm.
know this, I'm the person that goes back down the rabbit hole. I went back down the rabbit hole and looked at her page. She's just weird anyway, and I don't say that in an offensive way at all. Like, some people, I consider myself weird in many aspects, but she's definitely not your typical.
Well, that's what you and I were kind of discussing. One, I feel like she is married to a very dominating personality.
Narcissist.
So,
Oh, because we didn't. I'm sorry. We talked about the video of them together. We talked about her video, but then I think the most disturbing by far of all three of the videos was the video that he then comes out and does his famous critique of his video.
oh yes, yeah, he did do that
In third person, and addresses some of the things that other people said.
He literally did a reaction video to his confession video.
Yeah,
back in the car,
yeah.
And I think he actually even mentioned his books to sell the books, and I was just that was a whole
to the guy himself.
Yeah,
it was kudos to the guy for not making excuses and just standing in his truth, and that it's good. He thinks it's a good thing that him and his wife came on as a united front, and that he didn't try to tell her to say anything, blah blah blah. And then he ends up the video promoting his book at 50% off, and it's like, really, bruh? You're this.
Yeah. I would say here's my.
It's almost. I'll be honest with you. That video was scary, because it's like you're that much of a narcissist that you don't really see any problem with this, and she's that, I guess, in love and infatuated with you that she clearly doesn't either. That she's okay with going on IG and looking like a complete and utter fool, for you. And like I said, to be fair, even her, look at that. Look at the helmet of salvation, I think is what she called it.
Yeah. Well, so before you go into saying she's that in love, because that's where I go to pause. Now, knowing that I don't know their relationship, but what I see is she's more so with a very dominating personality, but she strikes me as someone that grew up in a very heavy-handed religious household. And that is something I'm a bit more familiar with. I'm saying my household is very crazy heavy-handed in any way, shape, or form, but I can understand the mindset of knowing you're supposed to date for marriage. I dated this guy. Oh, I should only be with one person. So maybe this is the first person she was ever with. Her mind track could be, and I'm also kind of pulling snippets from her IG video that's making me feel like, okay, this is more of a deep-setted thing in regards to how you understand your religion or how you practice your religion, and it's relating to your relationship, in that there's not really any way out, so to speak. There's not a divorce option. Divorce option is not an option. I say it all the time, I don't believe in divorce. However, me not believing in divorce is very different from me not thinking I could ever get out of my marriage if something that caused that level of review happened. I don't think she's in that same boat. I think there is no way out of this marriage boat. And she's using scripture, or she has people around her that have twisted some of scripture to make her feel like she is not a person without a man that she called her husband. So she has to stand by him, and even when he's not defending her or he's not honoring her in their marriage, she has to act like just prayer will fix that. Because here's the thing, they never talked about therapy at all.
No, she did. She did. Remember in the first video,
she said he went to therapy.
She said that he went to therapy, and that's the only reason I don't believe that it was a household thing. I think her connection to religion is through him. If you go back and you look through her IG, her pictures, her body language when she's in the pictures with him is very childlike. You know how a child is infatuated with you, and it's like you can.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, when you're in a very restrictive kind of religious setting where you've grown, like he's the head of the house, right? He's the head of the house. You sit under the head of the house. There's no, it's very much like Mormons, I guess, in a way. Their structure's very much that way.
Yeah, no, I it's just like they've been married or together, I believe, for 14 years. So I agree with you that point. He may be all she knows, quite frankly.
Right.
But he's just, you got to go back and look. She's definitely a what some would consider a strange bird. And and I don't say that to be mean at all to her. I actually pray for that lady, because it's clear that she is lost. And I'm not saying because your husband cheats, you should move along. But when your husband is narcissistic, and like the first time anybody has ever been seen the two of you is when he's coming out to talk about how he's cheated on you, and now you have to go on this whole bonnet of armor, whatever. Because quite frankly, she always dresses like that. Like there's maybe 2 or 3 pictures where she's actually dressed up to the nines, and then even then it's confusing. It gives like a whole lot of different stuff. It's a lot to unpack, I'm sure. Like I'd be fascinated to see like them on like Iyanla Fix My Life, or one of these docuseries where they go back and say I went viral, like where they go into like the details of what happened behind the story, kind of sorta. I would tune in like this to see what the backstory is, because it's clear there's a lot more going on with herself. And like I said, for him, it just, that third video to me was very clear. Sir, he's dangerous, because he's the type of person who will commit a murder and in his mind, wholeheartedly believe nothing, he did nothing wrong. And you couldn't tell him anything, and he could probably talk you into believing that he did nothing wrong. He probably could pass a lie detector test. Like, he's one of those people who adamantly believes what he believes, and he speaks that through, a true manifester. But that's dangerous. That's dangerous when you at that level of narcissism. And again, I'm not saying that because he did what he did that she should divorce him, because she did. She said, afterwards, people think she just sat around and waited, and she said no. She separated from him, and he had to do a lot to get back to her. So like he had to go through therapy. He had to do a lot before she would even like entertain the idea of them being together.
Right, but I feel like that's a mismark, and I don't even know if that was something she required when she says he had to go to therapy. There's no way in the world we're not doing some couples therapy. Now, granted, I didn't do anything wrong, but at the end of the day, you broke the marriage vow. That's what you did. So you need to be seeing a marriage therapist so we can figure out how to get this marriage back aligned. Yes, you need your own personal therapy, but there shouldn't be he went to therapy only, because he's not the only one coming back into this household.
That's true. And I'm almost the like you said, maybe later on we can have marriage therapy, but I don't even know if I'm be married to you anymore. So you go figure that out, and then once you get in alignment, then we can consider marriage therapy. I don't need to be in there with you. You go work on it because I didn't cheat. I didn't step out the marriage. You did.
Was it Tiffany Holly said she would love to see what her IQ is.
Girl.
I just feel like the other thing I just find it's just bad for him overall. Like, aside from his books being geared towards basically Black women and I'm going to teach you how to, finally find love. The ones literally called A Cheating Man's Heart are fictional novels, but they ain't fiction, sir.
Well,
you just took your life and put it on paper.
But he came out and said, like, one of the books, the one he was plugging at the end of that video, he said he wrote that one, like, I think while he was cheating. Like, he wrote it as a result of it.
But that's beyond me that you would try to sell a book about your indiscretions in your marriage while still telling us we need to be coming to you for marriage advice.
Dangerous. That's my point. When you can't even see that this is nuts, that's dangerous. Like, there's no other word for that. That's dangerous. Like, you're mentally.
I at the end of the day, I feel for her because I don't know that she's in an environment, and that's not just saying in her personal house, but in her surrounding environment community, even in her church, where they're going to help her process this in a healthy way. Correct. And teach her how to make boundaries, because that's what she was giving me, a lack of boundaries. Like, I know that's your spouse, but he's violated all the boundaries, and I don't even think you had him up to begin with. So what makes you think it's not going to happen again?
I didn't get boundaries. I got lost. When she did a video by herself, I watched it and I was sad for her. I said she just looked lost. Like I said, even like right now, like I'm not filming in my house, but if my kids or somebody ran by, I would, be like, hey, y'all stop, or mute the. When I tell you, she did not flinch, and it sounded like somebody was in the background throwing a whole refrigerator. That's why I get caught vibes from her. Like, something's not right. Because at the end of the day, no matter what your personality is like, we're all humans. We all have a reaction. There was no reaction whatsoever.
I think we're saying the same thing, but I hesitate to throw the word cult out there because I don't know what church they subscribe to. So they could, they could be out here going to non-denominational church with me. It's just they got a really crappy crowd at her church, her church community, that don't know how to actually use or interpret the word of God. So
yeah, no, and I agree. Like you said,
but I do agree with you on that point where, like, yeah, you're getting very strange vibes. I don't know. I guess I when I say she looks like she has boundaries, the boundaries to me is that looking lost. Because if you had some boundaries or you knew what a boundary was, you wouldn't be sitting there looking like a doe and some deer in some headlights.
Baby, I don't know if she know a lot of what things are. Like I said, when she came on there and did that, and this is the bar, I said, oh, boo, I can't. I just stopped and said, let me say a prayer.
Now, see, I've attended a church where they were on that level before, like visiting. Well, I can't say visit. We went there for way too many months. But I've seen that. That's not necessarily cult. That's you trying to be super godly. That could be super godly, or that could be cult. Actually, let me not say it's not cult. Mm-hmm. But that can be you trying to overcorrect the lack of godliness.
Yeah.
In how you're feeling or the situation you're in by going full on. I don't even know. Was that evangelical, married the Baptist, and then added the Pentecostal? Y'all said, "Woo, let's get it."
All of it. Yeah. All of it. I mean, and I agree. Like, you need to have, God at the foundation of your marriage. I don't disagree with that part, but again, I feel like you said, it's a misuse of it because you're trying to like over exert it, and it's like no boo, because the bonnet of whatever and the chest plate, it wasn't there when he was, what's that saying? Spreading it wide and laying it low. It wasn't there. So
when I was watching the Bible Man videos as a kid, he was not wearing no bonnet of salvation.
He wasn't. And
because there's actually a Bible verse that tells you put the armor of the Lord on, and it literally says the breastplate or something. It says nothing about no bonnet, girl. So I don't know.
You see a bonnet, I see the helmet. So she was going off of that.
Oh, she was saying that was her helmet. Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
The full armor of God is essentially what she was trying to
Yeah.
get. She's in a spiritual war. And I get it. I learned it just like anybody else in church.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but that's not the problem. The problem is your husband having you out here look a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
He did what he did. I work on that behind closed doors. Don't let that man have you on camera holding you, squeezing your hand, and you looking like a deer. And you have to see it, Tiffany. You have to see it, girl. Kev on stage did a. He did a.
He did. Tiffany, we might have to. We can probably link it. We'll link it on the YouTube recording of this afterwards, so y'all can go find it.
Yeah, and Kev on stage did a snippet of it, and he was just like, "Shh."
He was so wrong for that.
And I just bust out laughing. I was like, I have to go watch the whole thing now. And I watched it. And I was like, I see why, because the rest of it was it just went downhill from there. It was like, you trying too hard, baby. We didn't cheat. He did. We didn't book the house. He did. If Carlos tried that, hey, I'm not holding your hand, and I'm surely not about to come on here and talk about the scripture of the breastplate and the full armor of God. You could get some armor, but for a whole different reason.
Speaking of Kev on stage, they did talk about it on his podcast he does with what's her name, Angel Keita Moore, whatever, and she gave you the vibes that we would have expected to see, and I fell out. I had to turn the podcast off after she went through the whole thing. I just could not. So that is also a funny way, and like I think what more people were expecting to see it as a response. But at the same time, we still have to be cautious of judging their situation, because at the end of the day, she didn't do anything wrong. Look, you and me, Brittany, we understand we're trying to be but the internet was very judgy of her as a whole person.
That's true.
Because of something he did.
Yeah, I saw people saying, well, like if I dress like that too, what can I expect? And I was like, that's wrong. That's wrong. Y'all lucky that lady didn't get on camera in her pajamas and her Winnie the Pooh onesie. Like, this is your following. You trying to say this is your subscriptions you trying to hold on to.
Especially when you look at it, and she actually doesn't have a public presence, so it's not like she's got no dogs in this fight aside from the ones she's trying to use to keep her marriage together. Oh, so it was that was something that I didn't like about the situation, because it was more, oh, he's a goof, but let's break this woman down even further than she's already been about her husband doing this to her, which it was so unnerving.
Like I said, I understand. Like, she made it very clear it was her decision to go on video, and I'm not even going to say that I don't believe it was her decision. I do believe she, wholeheartedly wanted to go on video and do the first video as well as the follow up with the Armor of Salvation video. I do wholeheartedly believe this. One second, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was hard to watch. It's sad to see, just because overall they're a young couple, and you hate to see an actual young Black couple that was trying to portray a healthy marriage not be able to do that, because now that stigma has just been reinstated overall, is what's happened.
Yeah, and I think the saddest part of it all was that when other quote unquote public figures had come out and with their infidelities, such as Pastor John Gray, that he was so judgmental and I guess attacking these men, when it was like, you were doing the same thing, sir.
I went straight back to Jada and her entanglements. I mean, at least he admitted she couldn't say that she done messed around. She out here entangled still, like it's some daggone hair in a comb. Okay.
Well, she said she had entanglement, and then she said with August, like she made it clear, like, and she said I was unhappy or whatever Jada was talking about.
I need that 5-letter word, CHEAT. Thank you.
I cheated. But Jada was giving background, but we know you did it first. Like you know, what I did ain't nothing close to what you did, Will. So, but again, I feel like that's a whole nother conversation. But
That's a whole nother, yeah.
one of those things when you invite that element into your relationship, you can't get mad when the other party continues with it or does a variation of it because you invited that to start with. Like for me, it's me and you and me and you and me. The end.
The end. Period.
But some people, they're open to things, and again, I don't yuck no one's yum. Whatever works for you, but just know when you invite an element into your life, you have to understand that it can grow and have its own expansion of its own.
And that's the scary part though, because a lot of young couples they're inviting things in because the media, the culture of the world we live in says, well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's just keeping it spicy, right? No.
Nothing wrong with. And again, if you like it, I love it, boo. It's not for me.
Right.
It's not for me and mine. But if you like it, I love it. I'm not here to judge.
I just don't understand being married. How many years now? What I would not. Someone would have died by now. There was a third person up in this. What?
And I'll go back to this. If you want to have that element, I just feel like, then you don't even need to get married for real. Just do y'all. Like, don't feel the pressures to conform to society and be married. Just live your life. If that's what you and your partner like, then y'all do that. But I don't think I need to, because marriage is a covenant. You don't need to have a covenant then. Y'all just doing y'all. Y'all know what it is.
Yep.
Again, I feel like if you like it, I love it. It's not for me, but I'm not here to judge.
Marriage. It's a covenant. You're supposed to be equally yoked. How can you be equally yoked with uneven numbers
in your situation?
Yeah, like it's a three-way split still 33.33. That's not a round 100, y'all. When you add all the 33s together, but that's a culture that is kind of in place right now, and
we should do a podcast with a polygamist. You know me, I'm always open to hearing the other side of things. I love to hear the other side. I love to hear, the thought process behind it. Sometimes like the actual history behind it all. Because some people will tell you that like even monogamy is not how we were created. But it's it's all types of stuff. I would love to hear more. Like I said, it's not for me because I guess I'm indoctrinated in what I was raised in and what I know. But
right. So the way I'm set up, I don't even got time to hear that because my jealousy is gonna be like, no.
But you still get the life insurance. You remember that, Stephanie. The life insurance is yours.
That's right. Listen, what we're not doing is sharing this pension. Okay, thank you. We don't share the pension money.
It's all for you, boo.
Yeah. Let's move on to our next topic though, because we could be on this for forever and a day. I feel like.
Well, yeah.
So now, topic was spring has sprung, but not really though, right? Because today I turned the heat back on. I wore my full winter coat. It said it was 30-something degrees, and yesterday was snow raining out here in Maryland. Just trash weather all around.
Let me tell you how you know it was cold today. My son who never puts on a coat. My son who never thinks it was cold. When we were outside just now, getting everything together, he was like, "Mom, we have to. I am cold. I am." I said, "Who? Oh, not you.
Not you."
Because I got my coat with my hood on, and he's like, "Mom, what are you playing? I'm cold." It's cold. I told you it was cold.
I'm just so disappointed right now. Like
his hoodie.
I took the kids to get ice cream like around 5 o'clock, and as I'm standing there, I said, What Tiffany said, it's cold in NOLA. See, that's unacceptable.
Wait, NOLA?
It's unacceptable.
Always be hot.
Listen.
You want your money back. Tell them just cancel the whole trip. That's not even right.
Cancel the whole trip. We're standing there trying to get the ice cream, and
I do. I feel real disrespected when I book trips to go places that's supposed to be warm, and
oh yeah.
I'm disrespected the whole time. I'm like, what the? Oh,
Now I was a child during the blizzard of '96. However, we were on a trip to Disney World. Let me tell you, we lined up to get into Disney World early to get to the gift shop. They had 5 pair of gloves in that joint. Got gloves. I said people were lined up just so they could get the gloves because that's how cold it was.
Disrespectful. Why am I here? Like, I don't even want to be here. What time does the flight go back home? I could be home. I could be cold at home in my house when I'm comfortable.
How it was when we left for Florida too, though. We had on full winter coats.
Oh, yeah, because it was cold here. It's supposed to be cold here.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I think, yeah.
And it was
okay.
If we would have got to Florida,
it might be the vaccine a little bit, y'all. I'm sorry. It might be the vaccine.
Like, oh no, let's just go home. This is a waste of my life. And that's how I feel. Like I don't want to go anywhere. They're supposed to be like imagine flying to the Bahamas and you get there and it's 50 degrees.
That would be hurtful.
What am I here for?
Mm-hmm.
You know what makes the Bahamas pretty? The weather.
Mm-hmm.
And I never
Absolutely.
been.
Absolutely.
I don't even want to Tahiti if it's cold. What am I here for?
I mean, because you're not getting in the pool, not at 50.
Yeah, I'm not jumping in your cold water.
Mm-mm. The ocean probably doesn't even look pretty.
My bungalow in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of my bungalow.
Sand gets cold real quick too. Sand feels like snow real quick.
Real quick, fast, and hurry. Yeah, I've been to Ocean City when it's cold before. It's not cute.
Oh yeah. I don't understand why people do that ever. Like that blows my mind. Why I want to go to the Ocean City for what? No, daggone shop is open. Nobody's out here but us getting all this wind off the ocean, just freezing to death.
I've been to Ocean City in the cold before, but I literally went and stayed in the hotel. I didn't leave the hotel unless it was to get some food, and I came back to the hotel and got in the heated pool and the hot tub. I don't even need to see the beach in the cold. For why?
No, agreed. Well, despite it actually not feeling like spring right now, I'm going to be optimistic and say spring is actually right around the corner.
Okay.
And with that, I need to know, can we plan outdoor time with people? Are we allowed to?
I'm doing outdoor time tomorrow, boo. I'm going to be outside.
You got outdoor time tomorrow. I just need to know, can I be like booking the things?
I would say I wouldn't book nothing until May. You know, Maryland is weird. We live in Maryland. I would say not till May. That's my personal opinion for outdoors. Like, I'm actually trying to plan an event for May, and it looks like we're going to postpone until like June or July because COVID won't play fair, and so we can't be indoors. And outdoors, like you said, you could just never be too sure. So, yeah. I mean, and I won't say don't plan anything. Like, I mean, this is what I say. I say, do you plan it? Just know that you might have a coat on.
See, and I can't do that because if I got a coat, that means I got to change my whole outfit because I can't be out here in my spring blooms with my full parka on. That doesn't work for me.
You got to put on your cute fur. Your fur.
Oh, true.
Your fur and your mini skirt and your hat and your high boots.
What? The mini skirts. Oh, okay. That's not even spring attire, the mini skirt.
That's not my attire. This is for you.
Oh, this is just, okay.
You know, if it's cold, I don't care about being cute. I can care less about being cute when it's cold. I want to be warm.
Well,
otherwise, here's my other thing. If you want to plan something outside, make sure that there are cocktails involved.
That's true.
Because you'll warm up. You'll warm up real quick.
That's right.
I'll have a cocktail tomorrow. I promise.
So under that suggestion, that means Howard County should really think about giving me my wine in the woods back.
Yes.
Because it's all about the libations, literally.
Yes, as long as they have the limitations on like social distancing, absolutely.
See, and that's why they won't do it. Because how are you supposed to get your drinks when everybody's hand pouring it for you?
They would have to do like a pre-pour, like those little, like some of the companies that have like the Capri Sun type thing.
Oh yeah.
Like the cans. What's that company in Silver Spring that has the cans with the wine?
Well, I don't know about the cans. I know the Capri Suns. They do that at Looney's.
No, it's a winery in Silver Spring.
Oh, you mean
District
District
something.
Winery? Isn't that in Silver Spring?
Yeah, District Winery. They have the wine,
Yeah.
some of the other mixed drinks, and they come in cans.
Okay.
So they would just have to have vendors that have that option. And I'm sure with COVID, a lot of them have had to pivot anyway. But
That's
maybe
true.
not, because some people just want a bottle, or they might just say, "Look, instead of a pour, you got to get this bottle, baby.
You gotta get the bottle.
This bottle in your life, boo."
Look, if we're gonna discount the bottles to like $7 a bottle because we can't get our sips in,
They
I'll buy
probably
the
do. I
bottles.
mean, they usually discount them anyway. So like maybe they'll do, two for 7. Like as long as you buy multiple, you can get that
Maybe
discount.
your ticket includes like 2 or 3 bottles of your choice from any of the vendors there.
You can't do that then, because then it's like those people. Some people they get 3 bottles, they're gonna drink 3 bottles. Now you gotta up the police presence, because some folks don't know how to act when they get a little look in them.
I mean, they were doing that before anyway. They were buying bottles, bringing because you can literally bring your own stuff too. Like you could bring a
Oh,
picnic. Yeah, you
wait,
can
you
bring a
can bring
picnic.
your own stuff to Wine in the Woods?
You're not supposed to, but you think them
Oh,
that was full of water?
they
That
don't.
they're
When I go to Ligonor, they check that thing, baby. You can't have nothing.
I, I've never been to Ligonor,
Even if
but
you have like Ligonor is so specific. If you have a water bottle, all your water bottles must be sealed. Like if you have one that's open, they throw it away.
I
It's
don't
a
know. I just know people were bringing in whole like pool coolers, so you can't tell me somebody ain't figured out a way to get that in there. Especially when they was coming with them babies. Oh, all them bottles filled. All them baby bottles filled. Talking about, oh, this is my breast milk. Oh, is it? Is that your breast milk?
your breast milk is clear. Why never look like that?
Well, that's what I was looking forward to because it really crushed me. They didn't have it this past spring, just because I like volunteering at it. But my kids have their birthday this month. April's a busy month for us. My daughter's birthday is next Friday, and then my son's is 2 weeks after that, basically, because he's 20th.
Okay.
So, being that it's COVID, I'm not gonna have people at my house because I don't think they'll come anyway. Number one, just because some people, I
Yeah.
don't want to say people are funny. They're not funny. They're being cautious, which
Yeah.
you know what? I feel like I just have a weird way of being cautious and not cautious, just because of how our household is set up. Like my husband's a EMT. He been out in these COVID streets since before there were COVID streets. Okay, we
Very
was
much.
special to catch all the things before COVID was added to the mix.
Exactly.
So the fact that we haven't gotten it, I'm just like, pretty sure we're immune. You'll be fine. But that's not everyone who lives in that type of setting. You know what I'm saying? So it's different, and I don't think like now. Of course, there are friends of ours that they'll come over, but I don't want to make people feel like they have to ask and be that one because I think that also puts people off where they're like, they're trying to do something indoors. I gotta, because like, I don't know. I don't know if it's weird for them or they feel like you're putting the other person in a weird position. But,
And
look.
I would say the other thing is, maybe I've seen like on Facebook a lot of the festivals and stuff. They are still planning them for like May, June, and July, but it seems like they're further out. So I think spring has sprung. Just do your research and go where you feel comfortable. That's my whole thing. I don't really feel comfortable in crowds, but
Mhm.
and I prefer outdoor events. But I can't lie and tell you I haven't eaten inside a restaurant. I've eaten inside of many restaurants.
I mean, we spent most of our time this past hiatus in restaurants, Brittany.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say, this is a good transition to the next subject. I think your comfort levels change over time. In the beginning, I wouldn't step foot out of my house. Everything had to be delivered. Then once it got there, I had to Lysol it down and let it sit in the walkway for 15 minutes before I put it away. And the thought of even getting close to an airport, made my stomach hurt. And I wasn't going like I was going nowhere. Like the extent of my going out was to like maybe walk around the neighborhood, and even then I tried to go during the time there wasn't that many people, and if there were a lot of people out walking, then I had on my my mask the whole time. So
Mhm.
meanwhile, I've since got on a flight. For the most part, I do.
We went to like the epicenter on the East Coast. We went to Florida and we survived.
Hold up, because you're gonna say that, and y'all gonna feel like y'all can't be around me. That was in February. That's before all them
Oh
crazy
yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was before all them crazy people got down there. When we were there, it was nice and open, and it wasn't a lot of
yeah. Yes,
people.
pre-spring
We
break
saw
people.
stuff, and we were in Hollywood, not Miami, where they follow the same standards as Maryland. Just had to get that
Mm-hmm.
caveat.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I play them games, but no,
Also,
it's just
she's ready. She's ready for spring. She's like me. Like, all right, can we just be like out here? Like, so like I'm at the point where I will walk around our community because we have lots of trails and stuff,
Mhm.
and I don't know why you all are out in the outdoor fresh airs in mass unless we're like stacked on this pathway. I get that then, but it's 10 a.m. It's me and you. The end.
And see
You're
what I
jogging
do, if
past.
I'm
I'm
going
walking.
without a mask and there's somebody on the street, I just go to the other side. Like I literally will either go across the street or I'll walk. I'll like wait, and then we will literally like go opposite way, so we still keep our 6 feet distance.
It was funny the other day. I'm walking and this guy. It was a very nice day out, and he was so excited about the great weather. And he's like, "It's a great day." I'm like, "Yes, it is." And like, then he realized like I didn't have a mask on, and he was like, "Oh, did I just catch it from her?" I'm like, "But meanwhile, we're a whole like 8 feet apart." Like, and then another guy, he said hi, and I said hi, right? Because you talk, so I talked back,
Uh-huh.
and then he was like, after he said hi, I just saw him going, "Oh." It's like it's already out there now, sir.
Before the air hits me.
Right, and it was almost more so not because he thought of me. I think he was just like, "Oh crap, I put this
Yeah.
mask on and I'm not wearing it." But then, like, I also see this teenager speeding on a skateboard going by with a whole mask on. Like, sir, nobody is gonna catch your air. You're doing about 15, and we're all walking at like 6. Like,
He don't want to spread it to y'all. He's going fast. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to spread it.
I get
What they call it? What's the new campaign? Mask up or
mask ups. I don't know what.
just
I
like
know mask up is a thing they're saying.
yeah. It's so I just saw the commercials like mask up something. So
Oh, okay. I think Tiffany literally just said it. She just said, mask up, sanitize down. Maybe is that the saying? I don't know. But her point, she's saying she did go to New Orleans because she's been around all these kids in these schools. So I hate that's the other thing too. My children are young. They still out here licking things, putting dirt in them. Like like that's a cracker. I like that cracker yesterday. I'm gonna eat it today. Like so, we good. We good.
and I
We
do
good.
think it's one of those things when you already are like to Tiffany's point. If I'm already having to be forced to be around these kids, I might as well be able to do what I want to do in the midst of COVID too. I don't want to be around the kids, but I have to. So I want to go to NOLA, cold or hot. That's right, Tiffany. That's my bad. You enjoy your cold NOLA.
That's great.
Put on a cute coat and you rock it out.
But I mean,
Or get you
at
a
the
hair.
same time, though, Britt, we are being cautious.
Yeah.
We're being cautious because both you and I are now have our first vaccination. Got mine. Can we see it? Oh, yeah! Look at that. Got my little shot today.
See if I can show
Oh, it
my.
says I'm a flu fighter. I guess COVID is now the flu.
I can't get it.
But yeah, got my first shot today. So, as we're gonna be out here, spreading all the germs with our children,
We're
we
doing
can be.
our part.
We're
Because
doing our part. Absolutely.
initially, if you guys go back and look, this is a plug to one of our first podcasts. We were both pretty much very adamant about not getting the vaccine. Like, I
We
mean,
really were.
really adamant. And for me, I can say peer pressure. It worked.
Mm.
um, everybody around me is getting it and was getting it. And then, there were conversations. Oh, Brittany, did you get it yet? Are you on the list yet? Well, maybe you shouldn't go because we're going to. And I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all going to leave me out just because I didn't get my shot? And then I finally got to the point it was like, well, we're all going to probably end up having to get it anyway. It's probably better that I get it now than wait until there are droves and droves of people and who knows.
Yep.
Yay! Someone else got theirs. I feel
She's gotta
excited.
go get hers. Someone's gotta get hers. I ended up, so I just signed up through see, Tiffany too got hers. She was against it, but she got it.
Me
Um,
too. I got one. I'm going back on the 19th to get number two.
and
I
I go
think
back
it's around
on the
2 hours
30th.
to get mine. Two and a half hours. Me and
Did you
my
get Moderna?
no baby. I got Pfizer.
You go back. Oh, guess yeah, you're right because you went last week, so it is 3 weeks. Okay.
No, I went Monday. I went this Monday.
I'll go back to the 30th. Anyway.
I think it's 2 weeks in between. So yeah, I went. What's today? Today's the what is today? I don't know what day is this? April 1st. So I went on the 29th. Yeah, I went on the 29th, and
Okay.
they told us that our two options were either the 19th or so yeah, it's 2 weeks in between. It was either the 19th or the 20th. So I told them just give me the 19th. So we're going back on the 19th. I won't put anybody's business out there, but I just received news that a family member got Johnson and Johnson today, so they're done, one and done.
Really
I won't say
interesting.
who for privacy purposes, but yeah, I now know someone who got Johnson and Johnson.
As a Tiffany said she got Moderna, I got Pfizer today.
Yeah, we got
And I
Pfizer.
literally listen. I know you said you waited 2.5 hours when you went to go get your shot. I had an appointment at 4:15 at Walgreens. The girl didn't know how to read an insurance card because she asked me for my VIN like it was my car registration. So she wasted about 10 to 15 minutes of my time. But we was back in the car by 4:45.
Girl, I wish.
And there was one other guy came in when I was there. By the time I left, so that like 4:45, I guess because people getting off work, they did have a good group of people. But if you're looking for them, go on. And I found it off the Vax site, whatever that Maryland does. Look at the local pharmacy type places. So like your CVS, your Walgreens, because they got open.
When I talked to who has gone to like a CVS or Walgreens has had a similar experience as you, is like in and out. We went to a church and someone I talked to earlier said that who recommended it to me. They said their wait wasn't that long, but I guess we got in the. I think it could have been again the time. I think they went first thing in the morning. I waited.
Yeah, I think time is a big thing.
The end of the day because of work. But I do wish I would have just tried to get like the first thing in the morning to get in and get out.
Yeah.
She said the nurse who did mine said I was her 184th shot of the day.
Wow.
185.
Let's see where the Walgreens I went to. I just happened to be up there doing my registration when they were calling to confirm their next batch of vaccines making it to the Walgreens.
Wow.
And they said they do 114 a day.
See, mine was 185, and that was just one nurse of, I think they told us it was a total of 15 nurses in there giving shots. And I was 184.
Let's say Yolan asked, do all local stores have them? No, not necessarily. And that's because with Walgreens, I did have to set an appointment. So you got to go on that website. Was it like GoVax something?
GoVax.org or something.
Yeah. Whatever the Maryland state site is where you can look up locations, they will list the particular Walgreens or CVS's near your zip code, because you got to put your zip code in, that have them. And then if they have availability, then they'll show you the times available once you click into that actual store location. So like I actually thought I was going to, like, I guess the one in Ellicott City, because that was the only Walgreens I could think of besides the one down the street from me. So I was planning, okay, because it's like right across from Sonic. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna get my Vax. We're gonna go hit that Sonic and get us that little ice cream. I actually ended up at the one in Elk Ridge. Thank goodness I decided to leave early because I would have been late. But again, I think Ellicott City was an option. They just didn't have times that worked for me.
Correct. That's the thing, like you said, a lot of times, a lot of locations do have it, but it's the availability and the times that make the difference. So, yeah, this second one, I think we're going around like 2:30. So we'll see. Okay. We'll see how long we wait this time.
Yeah. My second one is, I think I have an 11 o'clock appointment. I said, let me drop these kids off, go get it done, and have the rest of my day.
Correct.
Actually, in regards to the vaccination, they just opened, because I know I'm in Howard County, Britain. You're just right over the line in PG.
Mm-hmm.
They're opening a mass vax site for Howard County at the Columbia Mall. So
Oh, wow.
everybody doesn't know, they're opening a mass vax site at the Columbia Mall.
And it's
So,
already a mass vac site at Six Flags in PG County.
oh, do they?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it made sense though, because in the beginning, Six Flags, the parking lot was a mass testing site, and so now
Right.
it's converting it over to a mass vac site.
Nice. Yeah. So, I mean, of course, everyone can do your own research, make your own decision. But I just know, like, me and Brittany were both against it
Very much.
pretty vehemently, like to the point. My husband, when I said he is a firefighter EMT, I wasn't going to push him to get it one way or the other. I was going to let him make that decision. And, I guess kind of seeing what people have been dealing with. And I think there was a firefighter that ended up coming down with it in his department. I think it just kind of made the decision for him. And so him being someone that hates the fact that I think they make him get the flu shot, like he was not getting it before he became a firefighter. But I think he has to get it with his job. I'm not positive on that. He went ahead and decided to do it. So like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. Plus, also think about the lifestyle you're living. Like, if you're like me and you've kind of been in these COVID streaks the whole time, I feel like it behooves you to do it because you probably asymptomatic. Let's be honest. If you've been out of these COVID streaks since the beginning, we probably all asymptomatic out here. So it's gonna be us. And you don't want to be the one that finds out you were the contact trace. So
I think, like you said, I think it's one or the other. Either you're asymptomatic or you're really blessed and you haven't got it. But I do feel like it's one of those things. Eventually, without the vaccine, we were all going to catch it, and that's how I kind of felt. It's like, look, I feel like you're trying your luck. Like you said, as it gets warmer, as springs, you're going to want to go out and like live your life more, especially when you see those who haven't been living their lives are now going out. So just go get the vaccine. Like I don't do the flu shot, but just do the vaccine. I mean, for me, I'm not saying this. I'm not telling nobody to get the vaccine. I'm saying for me, I finally was just like, Brittany, suck it up. Like,
yeah, I had to have a hard look at myself because I was still out here setting play dates and everything, girl. I'm like, Steph. I was the first one on that list to send them kids back to school. We're like, all right, it's you, Steph. You're who they're talking to.
It's you. No, like we didn't send our kids back to school, but like my son, he wanted to go out and like practice with the football team and things like that. And it's like, to your point, it's like I'm allowing my kids to do things that could potentially bring something back in the household. So like, why not protect me and my husband, like you said? Because most likely kids aren't going to get it. It's going to be us. And
speaking of CJ though, Brittany, they have just approved one of them for 16 and over. How do you feel about it? How do you feel? You are good. Okay.
But I want him to get it because he actually has asthma, so he has a really hard time keeping that nose anyway, which is like a big argument for football. Like we made an agreement, if you go to football practice, even though they're only practicing in pods of I think it's like 6 or 7, I make him wear my big it's like the N95
mask. Your Bane mask. Uh-huh.
It doesn't have an option to pull it down. Like the surgical one, he can pull down. This one he can't pull it down. So
gotcha.
I make him wear it, but it's like either wear that or don't go. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't trust you, and I don't trust your classmates. And like you said, it's one of those things. You are older, so you're probably not asymptomatic, and you have asthma. So who knows what would happen if you got it?
Right.
Just be safe.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are at the 8:20 mark, y'all. I thank y'all for being here tonight. I know I mentioned earlier, although I do feel like I was probably talking to myself, and that's our own fault because we went, we ghosted y'all, but we back. Okay, we come back. We're gonna try not to ghost you all again. Next time, life hits us heavy, we're gonna talk about it because that's what we do here at DTM Then Some. We're not just gonna ghost it down, but we do appreciate y'all coming back with us. But just to recap, This is every other Friday at 7. On Wednesday, alternating in between. So this coming Wednesday, we will be doing our hot topics. And this week we are talking about hair care and maintenance, mommy and daughter edition. So talk a little bit about our hair maintenance, but also more so how to maintain our daughter's hair without losing our minds or making them miserable in the process. So we will be speaking with Miss Deja Marie of Goddess Looks. She has been a godsend to me and my daughter. She has saved us from taking some clippers to my daughter's head because she couldn't do it and I could not do it no more either. And that recommendation came from my wonderful co-host, Brittany. She handles your daughter's hair too, right?
Yep, my daughter actually went today. Her and her cousin both went today. So
lovely.
Yeah, I haven't seen her since, so I don't know. Her hair was out here yesterday, so I'm sure it's nice and laid and pretty now.
I'm excited to see what it looks like then.
She wanted new hair for Grandma's birthday party.
Aw, lovely. So tune in on Wednesday at 1 p.m. You can tune in here on Facebook. You can tune in on YouTube, where we're also live right now. And coming soon, all of our podcast episodes will be streamed on Spotify. So there are I think the first 4 are already on there. Got to upload the other, because this is episode 12, the other 8, so we can get all caught up. And that is Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Otherwise, we see Fridays at 7 p.m. So thank you all for being here. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Thanksgiving?
Oh, whoops.
Easter. Happy Easter to everyone.
Listen, I haven't eaten anything since I got the Vax. Just the ice cream, okay? And it was just a root beer float, so it wasn't even full ice cream, okay?
All right. Look, you see me. You see me out here trying to.
I'm gonna go get some carbs in, and then I'm gonna have to Zumba my life away to get the carbs back off. But we're gonna do.
Carbs your keto.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The keto carbs. That's what we're gonna eat. Keto carbs.
Keto carbs for the night. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Hubby brought me a quesadilla to I'm at my parents' house. For those who are not familiar, I'm in their basement because again the celebration for my mom is outside tomorrow. So my dad wanted us to come and do some things, and so hubby came and saved the day and brought me a quesadilla, a veggie quesadilla, only for you. Oh, I'm sorry. I know we're about to wrap up, but guess what was in my quesadilla? A piece of chicken, girl.
What? Oh no, they put chicken in your vegetarian quesadilla.
They tried to kill me. And my husband and my son thought it was so funny. They were like, I mean, but you could taste this, and I mean, you still like it. I said, I know what chicken tastes like, even if I haven't had it.
Was this from Cheetos?
No, this is from this place called Jesus.
It's okay. We don't have to say their real name. What we know is it wasn't Cheetos, y'all. Cheetos is about to be sponsored this podcast. They don't know it, but they about to be sponsored.
Cheetos would never do me like this. I said, oh, we are suing them. I said, this big piece of chicken too. Yeah, no, not the chicken.
How she reacted when she found that chicken in there. Because, listen.
I was the chicken!
The chicken of it all.
I shared like half of it with my dad, who's also a vegetarian. I was like, Dad, did they get you with the chicken too? He was like, I had no chicken in mine. I was like, okay. Set me up.
Well, I'm glad to know it wasn't Cheetos because they got to stay around. They got to stay around. They got to sponsor this.
No, I didn't eat any of the chicken. I spit it all out, all of it, that whole piece. Threw it in the trash. Wanted no parts of it. But yes, Cheetos will be sponsoring us, and they would never do that to your girl.
It would never.
My tortellate would never have chicken in it.
It surely wouldn't. Surely wouldn't. Real quick, Britt. I know I said we were wrapping probably 2 to 3 minutes ago. Let the people know what coming up in May.
Oh, coming up in May is the 5th annual Modern Mom on the Move conference. Manifest your moment. That's what the theme is for this year. That's what the theme is called. So tickets are on sale now. If you are a vendor who is looking to be a part of the conference, Those tickets are available as well on Eventbrite. It's manifesting MMOTM .eventbrite.com is where you can either purchase your ticket and or where you can sign up to be a vendor. And again, it's completely virtual this year, so you don't have to be in Maryland to be a vendor. You can get this recognition all around. Yes, Kia, yes, you did. And I just want to point out to all of my VIPs, Kia is one who did purchase her VIP ticket already, that this year you are getting a prep box. So instead of getting your swag bag after the event, you're getting a prep box before the event. And in addition to that, all of my VIPs will be getting lunch to go along because we're taking a lunch break. So definitely go ahead and get your tickets today. They are on sale, and we have an amazing lineup. We'll be talking about everything from raising children who have either special needs, and or we have two workshops about manifesting. One is a sound healing workshop, and the other one is an actual manifesting workshop with crystals. And then we are talking about what else are we talking? We're talking about so many good things in this one. We're talking about mindset because that's so important. We're talking about this topic I'm really excited about. We're doing a fireside chat where we're talking about the delicate balance of nurturing versus becoming resentful for your kid towards your children. So really excited about that to hear the insights on that. And again, just a lot of really good topics. And of course, I always bring you guys something about money, getting to the bag. So we have we have that topic as well this year. So really excited about that. Have some really exciting sponsors, and of course, you know me, I like to do the giveaways. So we'll have raffles throughout.
I'm excited. I gotta get like Key and go get my ticket and be slacking out here.
Get that box, boo. It's gonna be fun. I don't know if anybody saw my post today. Something that's going to be included in your boxes are cookies. So I'm looking for a MMOTM who bakes cookies so that I can go ahead and procure that and move forward and get these boxes out. So.
All right. So y'all go ahead and hit up the Eventbrite. If you just go to Eventbrite and look up Modern Mom on the Move, you can find it. I know she gave us the full breakout of it, but just Eventbrite, Modern Mom on the Move, you'll still find it that way.
The top one. So.
Yep. All right. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Yes. And again, happy Easter to you all. Thank you so much for joining us. And happy early
that holiday. Happy Easter. That holiday. Bye.